So these are the instructions on how to properly submit your invoice for your work. So what you'll have here is you'll have your file here saved on your desktop, this Excel spreadsheet where you would open that up and fill out your information. This information shown here in red is the areas that you'll need to edit. Don't edit anything else that's not in red. Once you have if you notice here, everything is made red just for the purpose of this video. It'll actually be black when you are actually filling it out. So fill out your name, your home address, and your contact information, your payee number. If you don't know that, Danny Abdenauer can help you out with that. The project manager, that's going to be Danny Abdenauer, and that's his telephone. Then what you will change each time you submit an invoice, depending if it's a new project every time, it will be, you'll put the OSP number in here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. The utility number, AT&T, the project location, that's where the project you worked on is, let's say Jacksonville, Florida. The OP number, CS1234 as an example, and then put the project description. This can be really copied from Property Portal or whatever was on your original task order. Once you've entered this information, then you'll go to timesheet and put the invoice date, which would be today's date. So for instance, this would be 09-16-2019. Invoice number. So as an example, what we do here is we put the first and last name, so John Doe, dash the year 2019, and then dash 001. So this would be the first invoice. So the next invoice would be JD 2019-002. And then down, if you come down here, this is where you actually enter the time that you worked. So on September 1st, John Doe worked 12 hours. He had $50 per diem. His hotel was $125, and he had 200 miles that he moved in. So if you look here on the description, he worked 8 hours. Here's something to be specific. 8 hours he worked, and then he moved in 4 hours, mobilized 4 hours, which was the 200 miles that he drove. These two numbers, 8 plus 4, needs the total of the hours over here. Otherwise, it will be rejected. So 8 plus 4 equals 12. Similar with this scenario. He worked 10 hours. Of those 10 hours, 6 were worked, 4 were demob. Let's see here. Then you go over to the Invoice tab. There's only 2 places in here that you need to edit on this one. One is the progress or final bill. You need to either check one or the other. So for instance, if this is a reoccurring project that you're going to be on for, let's say, 2 months, each week or each time you're going to submit your invoice, that would be a progress. But once the project is finally closed out, it is very important, otherwise it'll be rejected, that you come in and on your final bill that you put an X on final and change it from progress. That's critical in order to get it processed correctly from Danny. But for this, we're just going to keep it as a progress bill, and then as you come down here, everything else is all populated automatically. You don't need to edit anything to pull it from the other sheets that you had. On the only thing you need to put in here is the project setup. So this is when you get 1 hour per project to set up a new project. So if it's a 2-month project, you only get to do this one time, and all the subsequent invoices that are on that same project, it will be 0 there, so you can just leave that blank. So only on that first progress bill will you have 1 there. Let's see, then, so now you're ready to print this to PDF. You go up to File, and then Print, and then you'll have to, under the printer, you should have the ability to have something that'll say Print to PDF or something along those lines. Mine says Microsoft Print to PDF. I'll hit, and you want to come down here to the settings. You want to make sure this says Print Entire Workbook, and then you hit Print. Now it's saving it to a PDF, so let's say I call it this would be 2019, well, it would be John Doe -2019-001 for the first invoice. And then save that to desktop. And I'll show you where that has finally come over to my desktop. I open it up, and here is the spreadsheet that I created. You will need to delete this first page here by opening up this tab on the far side. Depending on what version of PDF you have, it may be differently, but you come in here, open up the thumbnails over here. You can right click this page. We don't want this title sheet here. We're going to hit delete page. Box pops up. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. It says, are you want to delete it? Yes. You hit OK. And now you have your two sheets. Now the one other thing is we want to see that the invoice is first and then the timesheet is second. All I did was come over here and you can click and drag. You have to you can click and drag and move these up and down. We want the invoice on top of the timesheet. Once that and then also you'll need to include any hotel receipts and in this same document. So you have to open up another PDF and drag and drop that file into here. I don't have any receipts available right now, but I'll open up another PDF to show you what I'm talking about here. I just opened up a random PDF, and you can take this one file and drag it over there. And let's say that was your receipt. So you take it and drag it there, and it'll be the last document in there. Close that out. So this is my final document. I have my invoice, my timesheet, and then this third one would be my receipts that I've scanned in. I hit save. Now that's on my desktop. Now I can close that out. Then I go into property portal. I need to upload my invoice. So when you get to the screen submitting your invoice, we'll use Danny Adenauer as an example. Danny, you enter your supplier name, Danny in I can't find, maybe it's Daniel. There it is. So Danny Adenauer, he finds a supplier name, it pops up, he clicks left clicks it, it pops that in there. Now this is an invoice number I'm submitting, and it's 2019, oops, excuse me. Let's say, well, this one was John Doe, so we'll use JD-2019-001 would be the invoice number that John Doe is submitting. The invoice date, that is today's date, you put in here. The invoice type, that you scroll down, it's going to be OSPRE Inspector. The amount, the total dollar amount, well, let's go back to our Excel file. What was the total dollar amount? It was $1376.50. So 1376.50 is the total dollar amount. State of use, where was this at? I think that was in Jacksonville, Florida, if I remember right. Let's see, project location, Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to put Florida. Scroll down, click Florida. Invoice description. So this is what you put. This is specific. You need to put the OSP number here, and that is it. So the OSP number for this one was OSP number 123456. So I'm going to come in here and put OSP number 123456. And that is important. That has to match. This box needs to match what's on your invoice OSP number. And then you come to document type and you select other. And then finally you're going to upload, let's say this is the description. You put JD John Doe -2019-001 for the first invoice. And you're going to upload that document that has, and what I did here is I click this button here, and I click choose, and then I go to my desktop where I had saved it, and look, it's right there, JD 2019-001. Double click that, it's uploaded, bam, it's in here. And if you want to check to make sure it uploaded correctly, you can even click this link here, click open, and looky there, there's my invoice first, my timesheet second, and then this third document would be receipts. Again, I didn't have a scanned in copy, but you get the idea. You close out of there, come down here, and hit submit, and then you're done. That's all there is to it.